Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Fran Talks Facts. And today's video is a serious one. We can now confirm U.S. casualties in a growing conflict with Iran. This is no longer just missiles on screens or headlines on the online. The U.S. military says 3 American service members have been unalived and 5 have been seriously wounded in recent attacks linked to this war. At the same time, Iran's supreme leader has been assassinated. Cities across the Gulf have been hit. Global markets are shaking. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what's happening, step by step in a clear language, so you can understand how big this moment really is. Let's start with what hits closest to home for many viewers: the American losses. U.S. Central Command has confirmed that 3 U.S. service members were unalived in this conflict. Another 5 U.S. troops are seriously wounded, and there are reports of additional minor injuries from shrapnel and debris. These casualties are linked to strikes and retaliation involving Iran and its allies, as well as ongoing operation in the region. Officials are still notifying families, so details like names, exact locations are limited, but they've made one thing very clear: major combat operations are underway and continuing. This is now a real, active war with American costs and lives. The losses are not limited to the United States. Iranian state media is reporting that more than 200 people have been unalived inside Iran from the waves of strikes. Both Israel and United Arab Emirates have also announced fatalities as a result of clashes and explosions. So we're not talking about minor numbers, we're talking about hundreds of people unalived within a very short period of time. And this number could rise as more information comes in from damage in hard-to-reach areas. Now let's talk about how this is affecting the Gulf, especially the UAE. Dubai's main airport, which is one of the busiest aviation hubs in the world, has been hit. Because of the risk and damage, almost all civilians' air traffic across the Gulf has been shut down or heavily restricted. Powerful blasts shook Dubai, and they didn't just hit empty areas. Major landmarks like Palm Jumeirah and Burj Al Arab Hotel suffered damage during a series of explosions. In Abu Dhabi, skyscrapers were also damaged, showing how wide the shockwaves from these strikes really are. The logistics giant DP World has temporarily suspended operations at Jebel Ali Port, which is a huge global shipping hub. On top of that, the UAE announced that Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange and Dubai financial markets will be closed for at least 2 days on March 2nd and 3rd. When airports, ports, and stock markets all take hits at the same time, you know the economic impact is going to be massive. A major turning point in the crisis was the assassination of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Khamenei led Iran for over 3 decades, and he was one of the most powerful and influential figures in the region. His unaliving took the U.S. and Israeli campaign against Iran to an entirely new level. This wasn't just a strike on a military base or missile site. This was a direct hit on the top of Iran's political and religious hierarchy. I'm probably not going to pronounce the president of Iran's names correctly, so don't come for me. Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, called the unaliving a legitimate right for revenge and retribution. Other Iranian officials have promised to intensify the country's military response in the days ahead. So, instead of moving towards de-escalation, the rhetoric right now is pointing towards more conflict. Another big issue is what happens inside Iran now that Khamenei is gone. He did not publicly name a successor before his unaliving. Under Iran's system, an assembly of experts, a body of senior clerics, is responsible for choosing the next supreme leader. Until they do that, the power does not sit empty. A temporary council is now expected to handle the duties of the supreme leader. The council is made up of 3 figures: the president, the head of judiciary, the jurists from the Guardian Council. That means there's a period of uncertainty Whenever you have power vacuum at that very top, the risk of internal struggle and external pressure both increase. The reaction among ordinary people have been very mixed. Social media has been flooded with videos from inside Iran. Some clips show crowds dancing and chanting in the streets, celebrating the unaliving Soleimani. Other videos show people mourning, crying, and holding processions for him. So the country is clearly divided in how it feels about his rule and his death. Outside Iran, tensions have also exploded. In Pakistan, at least 9 pro-Iranian protesters were unalive on Sunday in clashes with the police. These protesters were trying to storm the gates of the U.S. consulate in Karachi, and security forces responded with force. This shows that the conflict is not just military, it's political and emotional, and is spilling over borders into other countries. Let's look at the military side for a moment. U.S. military officials say that their targets in Iran have included the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, command and control centers, Iranian air defense systems, missile drone launch sites, and military airfields used to support operations. Israel, for its part, says that its strikes have been destroyed hundreds of Iranian ballistic missiles and knocked out half of Iran's missile launchers. Israeli officials also say that Mohammed Pakpour, a commander of the IRGC, has been unalive in these strikes. On the other side, Iranian media is reporting that the strikes have also hit civilian sites, including a school in Hormozgan province where more than 140 people reportedly unalived. There has also been large explosions in Tehran, Iran's capital. So while the U.S. and Israel say that they are focusing on military and strategic targets, Iran's emphasizing the civilian unaliving toll and destruction. Now let's talk about what U.S. President Trump is saying. 47 has said that he has agreed to talk with Iran's new leadership at some point, according to reporting from The Atlantic. At the same time, he's describing the ongoing military operation as necessary to eliminate imminent threats from Iranian regime. In a video posted on his social platform, he urged the Iranian people to take over your government. He also claims that the military campaign was required after Iran refused to renounce nuclear weapons, even though Iranian officials have repeatedly said they were not pursuing nuclear weapons. For 47, this conflict could become a defining moment of his presidency. It comes with big risk, a long regional war, a possibility of American casualties, a surging energy prices that could affect people around the world. All this is happening with U.S. midterm elections on the horizon, which adds another layer of political pressure and public scrutiny. U.S. allies in the Gulf, including the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, are extremely nervous about where this is heading. For years, these countries have pushed for diplomatic solutions to Iran's nuclear and regional activities. They feared exactly what we are seeing now: chaos, flight shutdowns, a hit to their economies. With airports disrupted, ports pausing operation, and stock markets closing, their worst-case scenario is weeks-long or even months-long war in their neighborhood. That would scare off tourists, business travelers, foreign investors, and all which these countries rely on heavily. On top of that, the conflict has shaken global energy markets. Oil prices already have been rising due to the tension between the U.S. and Iran. Now with this escalation and key routes and hubs under threat, the fears that oil and gas prices will surge even higher, hitting ordinary people at the gas pump through higher costs for goods and services. When you put all these together, U.S. casualties, Soleimani's assassination, strikes across Iran, damage in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, rising oil prices, you can see why many analysts say this could be one of the most dangerous moments in the Middle East in decades. There is a real risk of wider regional war that pulls in more countries directly or indirectly. There is also a chance, however small it may seem right now, that the shock of this moment forces leaders to step back and look for some kind of new negotiation or ceasefire. For now, though the language from all sides seemed much more like escalation than compromise. So that's where things stand right now. 3 U.S. service members unalived, 5 seriously wounded. Hundreds unalived in Iran and across the region. A top leader assassinated, major cities hit, and global economy feeling the shockwaves. We'll keep watching this story closely because what happens next in the Middle East could affect security, politics, and prices all around the world. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think these strikes will make the world safer in the long run? Or are they just pushing us to a much bigger war? Share your thoughts. Let me know. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next update. Thanks for watching. Stay informed and stay safe.